Hi guys, it's me, Skylar Capri, and today, as part of my semi-annual sale prep series, we're going to be talking all about budgeting. So we're going to talk about pricing, usually what days have the best pricing. I'm going to build out budgets for the 50% off tables, the 75% off tables, and we're going to also make budgets for 25, 50, 75, and 100 US dollars. That said, if you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. We do all things body care on my channel, so if that sounds like something interesting to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Without further ado, let's dive right on into the video. All right, you guys, I'm gonna sit on this side of the screen and put some images up right here. I'll also have some images take up the entire screen, so if you want to screenshot them, feel free. Now, this video is really gonna have two parts included. The first part, we're gonna talk about some of the best days to go to the sale, as well as just the overall look at pricing. Then we're gonna go ahead and dive into what the pricing looks like per item at the 50% off discount, what it looks like per item at the 75% off discount, and lastly, we're going to build out those $25, $50, $75, and $100 budgets. Let's go ahead and just talk like simple pricing, what the pricing models are going to be. There's going to be 4, which I'll put up on the screen right now. Now, these are ranked from best to worst, and regarding the best sale dates to go on, usually we're going to see some of those better sale prices towards the beginning of the sale. Usually that first day is going to have the best rate, which is going to be at spot number 1, which is the $3.95 flat rate. Now, what a flat rate means as opposed to a percentage off, a flat rate means that regardless of what the original price is, if it's included in the sale, it's going down to that flat price of $3.95. This is going to be honestly the best deal you're going to be able to get at the sale, and this is something we usually see the first day of the sale, and then maybe a week or two in, if they do a restock, we might see it go down to $3.95 as well. Now, the second place for pricing is going to be things that are 75% off. With things that are 75% off, you're just going to be coming out a little bit more than $3.95 depending on the item. But the difference between a flat rate and then 75% off, which pretty explainable, but if you have an original item that is $20 versus something that has an original price of $15, when you take the 75% off of both of those items, the one that started out as $20 is still going to be a little bit more expensive than the one that started out at $15. So that is going to be coming in at second place. This is going to be largely the second best deal you're going to get on all things body care. However, for things like home care, the accessories, candles, they are not going to ever have flat rate pricing. They're only going to have the percentage off. So the 75% off is going to be best for more of that home care. In third place is going to be the $4.95 flat rate pricing. Now, we see this here and there throughout the sale. Usually we might see this like the second week of the sale. If it's just a random week, they might decide to do a flat rate. I think this kind of brings a couple people into the store that aren't as familiar with Bath & Body Works because they see, oh, it's $4.95. That sounds really inexpensive. I'll just go in and check it out. Again, there's really not a big difference between the $3.95 and the $4.95 when you're just buying one item. But if you end up buying 10, 11, 12, it's going to add up quickly. I do want to say, if you do go in on maybe one of those $4.95 days and the next day everything does drop to $3.95, Bath & Body Works does allow price adjustments. However, you do have to follow their terms and conditions. I believe their terms and conditions right now is that you're going to have to bring back everything you purchased alongside your receipt, completely unused, completely unopened, and they are able to do the transaction to adjust that price to the lower price of that day. But definitely make sure to check the terms and conditions before doing a price adjustment. Now, lastly, in fourth place is going to be that 50% off. At 50% off, which you're going to see when I put it all over the screen from the product type to product type, you're looking at $3 to $4 more per item from that first rate, sometimes even $5 more from that first place of the $3.95 rate. So that is always going to be coming in fourth place. I highly recommend not buying anything at 50% off when it comes to the body care. That's just not something that I like to personally do. I would rather just be patient, get it at 75% off. But if it is on the 50% off table, It might be something exclusive like a perfume, like a full-size cologne that you're really unsure if it's going to drop to 75% off, or you just see one box. There are definitely kind of times, places, situations where it makes sense just to get the 50% off and be done with it. But regarding the pricing, overall for your generic body care, your body creams, your fine fragrance mist, your body washes, things like that, this is the ranking that I would have to get you the best bang for buck. Now let's go ahead and talk about the different discounts. We're going to be starting out with the 50% off discount. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put up on the screen kind of the 50% off discount overview, where we're going to go product type by product type, and I'm going to give you the pricing, as well as if you were interested in buying in trios, whether that's the body wash, the body cream, and the fine fragrance mist, or the body wash, the body lotion, and the fine fragrance mist. I'm going to give you all that pricing information right now. So on the screen, you're going to see an overview of that 50% off discount. One thing to note here is that these prices might be $1 or $2 off, simply because I do take the average of the full-size items, and full-size items can range anywhere from $15.95 to $18.95. So there might be $1 or $2 kind of difference, but overall, this is about the price that you can expect for the 50% off discount. Starting out with the individual body care products, we have the body wash and the body lotion coming in at roughly $7.98, the body cream and the fine fragrance mist roughly $8.98, the body butter and the body scrub roughly $9.48. And then for more of those trios, as I know a lot of us like to buy in sets or trios, at the 50% off discount for the body wash, lotion, and mist, it's going to be around $24.95 or $24.94, or around that $25 price point. And then for the body wash, the body cream, and the body mist, that is going to be around $25.94. So just a $1 difference in the actual trio, but you guys are going to see a much bigger difference as we talk about the 75% off discount. This is why I always say, if you can be patient, definitely hold out to the 75% off. When it comes to things that have a lot of stock or more just generic body care, definitely if you see your favorite perfume, or if you see something that no one else is seeing, it's kind of one of those one-offs, I understand wanting to pick that up at the 50% off, but for just normal generic body care, I really do recommend trying to be patient until the 75% off. So right now on the screen, I'm going to list out the 75% off discount, and you're going to see very quickly that difference. So starting out with the product types, at 75% off, the body washes and the body lotions coming in at roughly $3.98, the body creams and the fine fragrance mist coming in at roughly $4.48, and then the body butters and the body scrubs coming in at roughly $4.98 and then $4.48. The 75% off discount for those trios, so the body wash, lotion, and mist is roughly $12.44, and then the body wash, cream, and mist is roughly $12.94. So you can see right there a lot of difference between the 50% off and the 75% off. And in case I didn't say it, this is for all the full-size body care. Usually I don't see a lot of travel size in my store, maybe a couple of one-offs, but this is for all the full-size body care. I want to be super clear about that. Now let's dive into the actual budgets. This really connects to the video I talked about when I was giving tips and tricks and saying, when you go into the store, have an idea of how many products you're able to buy rather than the cost. It's a lot easier to look in your bag and count for 5 products than trying to look in your bag and trying to do the mental math for $30 in your head. But that said, I'm going to throw up the budgets on the screen right now, and we have a $25, a $50, a $75, and a $100 budget. Now for the $25 budget, if you were to exclusively buy off the 50% off table and you're going to exclusively buy one of the trios, meaning the body wash, the body cream, and the body mist, or the body wash, the body lotion, and the fine fragrance mist, it's going to be $25. So at $25 at the 50% off table, you're going to be able to get 1 trio or 3 items. However, for $25, if you were shopping exclusively off the 75% off table, you're going to be able able to get 2 trios or 6 items. Moving down to the $50 budget, shopping exclusively off the 50% off table, you would be able to get 2 trios or 6 items. And then shopping exclusively off the 75% off table, you would be able to get 4 trios or 12 items. You can see very quickly the difference is really big between the 50% off and the 75% off. Moving to the right, for the $75 budget at the 50% off table, you're able to get 3 trios or 9 items. And shopping exclusively at the 75% off table, looking to spend $75, you would be able to get 6 trios or 18 items. And now our last budget is going to be $100. So if you're shopping exclusively at the 50% off table, you would be able to get 4 trios or 12 items. But if you're shopping exclusively at the 75% off table, you would be able to get 7 trios or 21 items. So you can see very, very quickly the difference between the 50% off and the 75% off. Largely, that's why I highly recommend shopping exclusively off the 75% off when you can. But you guys, that really wraps up this budgeting video. I hope this was helpful. If you have any more questions about pricing, budgets, what I'm looking to spend, any of that, feel free to leave me a comment. I always try to respond in a timely manner. But that said, I hope you guys enjoyed, found it helpful, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.